Title: Shadows in Back Bay. Narrator: Boston was wrapped in a heavy fog that October afternoon, as if the city itself were trying to hide something. In the elegant Back Bay district, between brownstone buildings and cozy cafes, Madeline Harper walked briskly, though her heart was filled with doubt. She had returned to the city after 10 years carrying more secrets than suitcases. Madeline was a former investigative journalist, her career derailed by a scandal that nearly destroyed her. Now she was back for one reason: the sudden death of her childhood best friend, Claire Donovan, who, according to police, had fallen accidentally from the balcony of her luxurious penthouse in Beacon Hill. But Madeline didn't believe in accidents. Narrator: Her first night back, she stayed in an old hotel near Boston Common. The city still had the same soul: historic buildings, hidden bookstores, and the Charles River reflecting lights like broken promises. Madeline began digging. She visited Claire's apartment under the pretense of collecting her belongings. She walked in alone. The view from the balcony was breathtaking and deadly. Nothing seemed out of place, but in the desk drawer, hidden under a folder, she found a crumpled note. "I can't do this anymore. He knows everything." He? Who was he? Narrator: The next day, Madeline visited the architecture firm where Claire worked. There, she met Liam Bennett, a tall, quiet, structural engineer with eyes that seemed to carry a past. "I dated her for a while," Liam said, his voice tight. "But we broke up 6 months ago. I never really knew why. She just pulled away." "Do you think Claire had enemies?" Madeline asked, studying his expression. "Claire was complicated. She was scared, and she kept secrets. Even from me." Something in his eyes felt real, or maybe a little too real. Narrator: That night, Madeline was followed. She noticed it on the narrow streets of the North End, leaving a small Italian restaurant where she and Claire used to go. The man didn't touch her, he just watched. She picked up her pace, turned down a tight alley, and disappeared into the crowd. She didn't tell the police, not yet. Back in Claire's apartment, Madeline found an old email account still logged in. Most of the messages had been deleted except one, forgotten in the drafts folder. "If you talk, you know what could happen. This isn't a game, Claire." Narrator: Then came the anonymous calls, the silent voicemails. One text read simply, "Go back to New York, before it's too late." But Madeline had never been one to run. Digging deeper, she found irregular records in the hospital where Claire volunteered. Fake patient files, anonymous donations. The trail led to a private organization pretending to be a charity while laundering money. Claire had found out, and Liam worked with them. Furious, Madeline confronted him. She found him at MIT, overseeing a construction project. "What did you know about the dirty money?" she demanded. "And the threats Claire received?" Liam's face went pale. "I had no idea. But now it makes sense. She once told me she'd uncovered something dangerous. I thought she was just scared. Now she's dead." Narrator: Madeline didn't know whether to believe him. There was something about him that made her question everything. And still, something that drew her in. That night, Liam came to find her. He brought an envelope. "I found this in a box Claire left at my place. I hadn't opened it. Inside were documents, photos, names, and a list. On it, a Boston politician, a doctor, and the senior partner of Claire's architecture firm. They killed her because she was going to expose them," Liam said, his voice breaking. "We have to go to the feds." Madeline looked at him. The danger was real now. So was the connection between them. "Can we trust each other?" "I don't know," Liam said quietly. "But if we don't, we might end up like her." Narrator: They arranged to meet a federal prosecutor at the harbor before sunrise. Rain was falling. Madeline arrived first. She waited. The prosecutor never showed. Liam did. But he wasn't alone. A black car pulled up. One of the names from the list stepped out. It was the doctor. He pointed a gun. "She knew too much. Now you both do." Madeline froze. Liam stepped forward. Let her go. I have everything you want. The files, the names. Liar, the man growled. Then, he fired. Narrator. The gunshot cracked the silence. Liam collapsed, hit, but alive. Without thinking, Madeline ran to him and began streaming the scene live from her phone. Within seconds, the video went viral. The attacker fled. Police arrived minutes later. The prosecutor had been intercepted but survived. The evidence was released. The scandal exploded across national headlines. Liam survived. Madeline did too. But neither of them would ever be the same. Narrator. 2 months later, Madeline sat by the Charles River, watching ducks cross the calm surface. Liam joined her with 2 coffees in hand. He sat beside her. Are you going back to New York? He asked. She smiled softly. Maybe, but there are still stories here that need telling. And us? Madeline looked at him. There was still pain, still fear, but something new had begun hope. Maybe. Our story is just beginning. The end.